Song swap coming up, People's Music Network song and poetry swap. It looks like we are live, and it is good to be live. It is good to be together. I am Ben Grosscup. I'm the executive director of the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle. And we got a great group of artists coming together tonight to share their songs. As an organization, we're really about sustaining the community of artists and activists that are using music in struggles for peace and justice. And there's so many ways that gets expressed through music. Singer-songwriters, choirs, hip-hop artists, poets. We're going to be having a major event in Groton, Massachusetts next month. It's the PMN Summer Gathering from May 23rd to 25th. So it's Memorial Day weekend. Some folks who are on tonight have been part of these online Zoom song swaps since, 2020. And it's a really beautiful thing to be able to meet in person and be able to share music that way. There's a deeper time for like the emotional aspect of what this music means to us and what we're learning, as artists in community, doing music to inspire people to make changes in our society. So the gist of tonight, while we're on Zoom together. Oh, I should say about the summer gathering, there's also going to be an online component to it as well. It's still coming together, some of the details, but the energy, I've noticed this over the last few gatherings, the energy of the in-person gathering really begets the energy of our broader online community, because sometimes people are not going to make the physical travel, out in this case to Groton, which is like an hour west of Boston. Not everybody that is like in range for, but even when we did the winter gathering back in January, it was incredible how many people showed up for the online component of it, where we have workshops that are just specific to people who are on Zoom, as well as like some hybrid workshops where there's interactivity between the people who register for the Zoom and the people who are in person. And this is just one of the many ways we're trying to maintain community connections through the People's Music Network. Tonight is an expression of those community connections as well. Just want to make space here. The topic is songs of struggle for a country and world in crisis. And we are in crisis in so many ways, with different views on what that crisis is and what needs to be done about it. And the views expressed tonight through the songs are the views of the members of the People's Music Network. That goes for me as well. And we're really interested through this experience tonight in listening with an open heart and being able to make space for one another to share the way in which the call for justice moves them into songwriting and singing. So I did post the YouTube link. That's a great thing to share. If you're watching on YouTube, it's always good to like that, but I'm just mostly talking to the folks in the Zoom room tonight about sharing that link, tuning into tonight's program. The format for today is, as we go from act to act, to offer a little encouragement to one another. Maybe there's something you heard in the song that just was played that struck you in some way. Like, give some voice to that, and also kind of helps you like think a little bit about listening, and not only about because that's one thing about the People's Music Network, is we're as much about listening as we are about performing. And we're just doing one song tonight. We don't have a full list of on the roster, but I think that's all right. We'll everybody gets a song. We'll have a little space in between to talk with each other. But basically it's a 5-minute kind of performance for tonight, and really glad everybody's here. Our very first performer for this evening is John Kloss. I'm going to be bringing him right up here. And Welcome, John. Feel free to unmute yourself. Here you go.
Hello.
Tell us where you're coming from, John, and tell us about your song.
Yeah, it looks. I'm in Northern Ontario. Yeah, we just happen to have the Northern Lights tonight. I don't know. It's just the computer does this for me. Yeah, I'm in Sudbury, Ontario. Good, strong, long-time union town, and still a long-time union town. We actually elect social democrats in Sudbury from the New Democratic Party. So two very good members provincially. Federally, we don't. But anyways, so I'm in that part of the world that is a little outside the United States and is feeling a bit overwhelmed by what we read about what's going on in the States. And it's really a pleasure to be able to talk to people in the United States and talk to progressive people in the United States as well, because that's something that gets lost a lot in the wash and in the media for sure. We don't get to see a lot of that up here. And so this song was one that I came up with a line for and then started working on, and I really appreciated the help that I got through the I think it's called If I Had a Song workshops, where you do the songwriting workshops. And certainly the folks in there really helped me kind of develop the song and also improve on some of the portions of the song. Tried to get it more focused. If you're a songwriter at all, it's very well worth attending those workshops. So it's called Hold On Tight, and I realized actually after a while that this is a pretty conservative song because I'm just hanging on to what I got, you know. I just want to hang on to what I got. I don't need a lot more right now. Just kind of hang on to what you got. Hold on tight. I see democracy betrayed by greed and lies and hatred, tyrannies at play. The mega billionaires pose in their fine array. On the gilded runways, vainly they display their yachts and jets and rockets, the bunkers where they'll hide. No limit to their greed, while hungry children plead. Hold on tight to sharing, tight to unions, tight to kindness. Hold on tight, hold on tight. There's craven ones who bow at the golden altar, fabricators of the bitter cost of power. Hardship and lost dreams, pollution stains the earth, hidden by their lies. Well, this planet fries. Hold on tight to truth, tight to reason, tight to nature. Hold on tight, hold on tight. When folks see the odds are stacked against them, the wheel of fortune's fixed by patronage and grift, they're taught that hate's the answer, other victims are to blame, not the greedy tyrants who control the game. Hold on tight to love, tight to fairness, tight to peace. Hold on tight, hold on tight, hold on tight, hold on tight, hold on tight.
Bravo.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. I think we're going to have a little more of that theme later in the evening about holding on tight. I saw a few songs with
I saw a few
titles
as well.
similar
Hold on, hold
titles.
on.
You know? Yeah,
By,
yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, it was a very good introduction, Ben. I just want to say I don't get to talk about a song before me, but it was a good introduction.
Thank you kindly. Thank you so much for coming here. Yeah, I'm going to bring on Pat Lamana to start talking about this song we just heard. As she's coming on, I just want to say, wonderful that you brought that to If I Had a Song. That is such a valuable resource in our community of other carefully listening songwriters who can give us feedback. So I love that you brought it there and that you brought it from there to here. I'll get out of the way and welcome Pat Lamana.
Hey Ben, hey everybody. John, love that song. I was finding myself harmonizing on the chorus. I like the tune, your guitar work was great, and I obviously like the theme because the theme of my song is not that different actually. And like you, I came up with a line, and that line happened to work very well with a well-known folk song. So I just went from there. I just took the tune of that well-known folk song and put my different words to it. And I started with one verse. It's kind of a zipper song, so I started with one word at the end of the verse, and then other words kept popping up, and the song could probably go on for a couple of hours, but this is how many verses I have, and people can feel free to add their own verses to it. But it's also about kind of holding on in a bad situation. I won't let them steal my joy. I won't let them steal my joy. I won't let them steal my joy. Whatever else they might destroy. I won't let them steal my hope. Feel free to join in. I won't let them steal my hope. I won't let them steal my hope. It's the only way that I can cope. I won't let them steal my song. I won't let them steal my song. I won't let them steal my song. I'll keep singing loud and strong. Dream, I won't let them steal my dream. I won't let them steal my dream. I won't let them steal my dream, no matter how they lie and scheme. I won't let them steal my power. I won't let them steal my power. I won't let them steal my power. They will never see me cower. And I won't let them steal my truth. I won't let them steal my truth. I won't let them steal my truth. I'll get them in the voting booth. Love, I won't let them steal my love. I won't let them steal my love. I won't let them steal my love. That's the one thing we have too little of. Joy, I won't let them steal my joy. I won't let them steal my joy. I won't let them steal my joy. Whatever else they might destroy. Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you so much, Pat LaManna, for that song. And tell us about how you wrote it, if you'd like.
Well, the thought came to me in the middle of the night when I should have been asleep. And you know how sometimes you tell yourself, I don't have to get up and write this down. I'll remember it in the morning. Well, it was true. I did remember it in the morning. It's that simple. But I couldn't think of any other words for a while. But then as I started thinking of other words, hope, song, etc., they came really fast. And finally I said, whoa, I got to stop because the song can't go on forever. It's just too boring. So I stopped with, I don't know how many verses, but as I say, people can, and I can post this to the email list, and people can use it or not, and make up their own verses and drop some of my verses, and that'll be fine. It just sort of, it gives me a chance to not be outraged all the time, and just to say, okay, what am I going to do about this? And not let them steal my joy is basically what it comes down to.
Thank you so much. Storm, what would you like to say?
Oh, Pat, that was a very nice, inspiring song, and definitely that's part of what we've got to focus on. I've gone back and forth whether I should do a song that's in the same vein or one more of a herald of what we're facing. And I think I'm going to be the herald, I guess. It's actually a song I wrote quite a while ago. When I first wrote it, people said, "Why are you writing such an apocalyptical song? It'll never get that bad." And it sounds like today's news. So, and the poem is also mine. Creed of a voyeur. It is better to watch lions while they're eating than be eaten. Better still to watch others loving than risk pain or the chance that one might get emotionally involved. I don't hurt. I am pure. I am only being an observer. I am not to be blamed. And I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Do I hear a drum and a child's cry? How many folks again will kiss kids bye-bye? And I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. If you'd like to eat, you'll have to pay. Can you afford to buy? Will you starve today? And I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. So you seek to work? Well, that's too bad, 'cause we've given out every job we had, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Do I hear a knock on my front door? Will the songs I write be allowed no more? And I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. Winds are wailing, trees are falling, lightning striking, and the air is burning, and I sense the future in the storm. Yes, I sense the future in the storm. In the storm.
Thank you, Storm. Just bringing up Shar Leahy, our next performer. Shar, feel free to share a word and then share your own song.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for that passionate piece of poetry and song, and it certainly fulfills the theme of the evening, which is a world in crisis. And it was very powerful, very raw emotion that touched me. Thank you, Storm. The song I'm going to perform is called The Defenders. I originally wrote it in 2017, but I very recently rewrote the song. It's called The Defenders, subtitled Their Coup. Angry workers, times are tough, wages stagnant, not enough. The pretender promised with Hollywood flair, said I'm your defender and soothed their despair. And somehow he made it through. Somehow he made it through. Somehow he made it through. our rejection. Chainsaws are slashing to the sound of ka-ching. Tech bro hijacking right in the West Wing. The pretender grins in his Oval Office lair. With few defenders, we fight back despair. But somehow we gotta make it through. Somehow we gotta make it through. Somehow we gotta learn to undo their coup. Angry workers, times are tough. Wages still stagnant, not enough. The pretender feeds on injustice and despair, dividing with hatred, dividing with fear. But divided we'll never make it through. Divided we'll never make it through. Divided we cannot undo their coup. So, rise up dreamers, daughters and sons, earth protectors, 'cause we are the ones. When the pretender lies, speak your truth loud and clear, 'cause we're the defenders, no time for despair. United, our love will bring us through. United, our love will bring us closer to. United, we'll learn to undo their coup. Yeah, united, we'll learn to undo their coup.
Thank you, Shar. Wow. This is a recent song you've written.
I wrote it in 2017, and I just rewrote verse 2 and changed the subtitle to
Right.
their coup. I added their coup in the recent version.
Oh, right. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
So it's a redo. Defenders redo.
No, that's great. Sometimes history repeats itself and songs kind of follow in suit. Thank you. I'm going to bring up our next performer, Mark Hecker. Welcome, Mark. Feel free to share a word with our friend Shar and tell us about your song. Just make sure you're unmuted there, Mark. And then, yeah. We're looking for the unmute button. Here, I'll give it to you again. There you go.
You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that certainly was an upbeat song and a little bit of a kind of a resounding answer to the previous song, which had kind of a negative factor to it, but at least had a glimmer of hope. And your hopes and your song certainly seemed to allow for that glimmer of hope through, through bad times or through oppression, that we can all make it through. The song I'm going to do actually was originally written for the Broadway musical Chess. It essentially is about a Russian chess master who has decided to defect to the West, and it takes place during the period of the Soviet Union. But I think that I'm going to dedicate this to the people of the Ukraine, because I think the song is very applicable to the situation in Ukraine. said, power may prevail, can possess, conquer my country's heart. They rise to fall. She is eternal, long before nations' lines were drawn, where no flags flew, when her armies stood, my land was born. And you ask me why I love her, through wars, death, and despair. She is the constant, we who don't care. And you wonder, will I leave her? But how? I cross over borders, but I'm still there now. How can I leave her? Where would I start? Let men's petty nations tear themselves apart. My land's only borders lie around my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Wonderful. I'm bringing on Linda Allen, our next performer. Welcome, Linda. And go ahead and unmute, Linda.
Unmute. That's what I'm working on. Okay. Does that work? Okay. Well, thank you, Mark. I was just, it felt very like an anthem, truly, and delivered powerfully with your voice. And I'm just so moved by what's happening in Ukraine, and you really gave good voice to that struggle. I thank you. Could you hear me okay, Mark?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for, I don't know if you wrote that or if you,
No, it was
you didn't
written
write it.
the composers from ABBA, of all things, and by Tim Rice, the lyrics for the musical Chess.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talented enough to write a song.
Well, it was a great song to present. Thank you.
I'm hoping to do some songwriting soon, but I have a lot of work to do to get to that level.
Well, I am going to follow a theme of several other people who really focused on union. And I've been part of the Local 1000 Musicians Union, was on the national board, and now I'm a wobbly Industrial Workers of the World here in Bellingham, Washington, where I live. And so I wrote this song. I wrote it a while ago, like a couple of years ago, but I brought it up, and it's also a song after the chorus. You can keep adding to, and I hope you do. I don't know when I first wrote it, but I know I've added some verses since. So you are welcome to use it, and if it's useful to you, that makes me very happy. So it's called Hold the Line, and given the attack that the unions are currently under, it seems really important to hold the line. There's a woman with a child, hold the line. A harassment claim is filed, hold the line. Then the boss calls her a whore. It's a silent, dirty war, till another woman roars, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. Write a letter, hold a sign, and your voice will speak for hundreds, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. We will leave no one behind. There is power in the union, hold the line. He knew the corporate gain, hold the line. size, just the same, hold the line. Now this worker has discovered union sisters, union brothers, and they're helping one another, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. Write a letter, hold a sign, and your voice will speak for hundreds, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. We will leave no one behind. There is power in the union, hold the line. Your cup of joe tastes fine, hold the line. But baristas feel the grind, hold the line. Though the mermaid would beguile with her mesmerizing smile, but 1,000 workers file to hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. Write a letter, hold a sign, and your voice will speak for hundreds, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. We will leave no one behind. There is power in the union, hold the line. For the children in the field, hold the line. In the sweatshops where they kneel, hold the line. And remember, when they do, they will rise up strong and true, and they'll do the same for you, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. Write a letter, hold a sign, and your voice will speak for hundreds, hold the line. Hold the line, hold the line. We will leave no one behind. There is power in the union, hold the line. There is power in the union, hold the line.
Bravo. Thank you, Linda. Just curious, like, if you could say a little more about the origin of the song. I love, I do a lot of labor songs, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder about that. Like, I could see that song in a bunch of different actions. It's telling the story about a lot of defensive battles that we're in, defending people's existing jobs. I mean, obviously, like what's happening at the national level with Doge, maybe that comes to my mind. What was coming to your mind as you were composing that?
Well, part of it is, I think just this week, it was about bargaining rights, that they took that away, collective bargaining. They were under attack, forget the statistics, but the labor, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess it up. But it was protecting children, and it was also protecting against not only child labor, but against exporting children for sex trafficking, and all of that is under attack. Everything is under attack if you actually read what Doge has planned. So yes, that as I said, I keep adding verses and invite others to add verses too. I want to mention one other thing. All the lyrics to my songs are on my website. People are welcome to use them. And I'm also sending out songs 3 at a time. Like I've done one on labor. I've done one on women's history. I have one upcoming on unhoused neighbors, and they come in 3 at a time because I've been songwriting for a very long time. And so if you want to be on the list, I think you can do that on my website too. Just lindasongs.com.
Lindasongs.com. I just posted into the chat.
Thank you. So yeah, my goal, my hope is to write useful songs that people will pick up and use for themselves and in different labor actions. We just had something here in Bellingham last Monday where probably a dozen of us who sing songs of social justice got together and had a sing-along. And we packed a small auditorium with each of us just singing well known and sometimes new but singable choruses, and raised money for the Whatcom Peace and Justice Center, and had a great time doing it.
Brings so much energy to labor action to have singing happening.
Yes, and
so
you know,
good
Ben,
on
they
you.
had the day 2 days before, they had a huge rally in Bellingham, the Hands Off rally, and I never heard a single musician, and I was so frustrated. I thought these big rallies need music, and they need to break up the speakers with music and poetry and bring in the arts. So somehow we have to get that word out. It's so important.
It's kind of a typical thing I find in the United States that a lot of the demonstration organizers are not thinking about that. I don't know, I sound like a broken record. Some of us do, but or maybe we're both the same broken record. I don't know.
Well, I'm old enough to remember when it was very much a part of every rally during
And
the
I am
Vietnam
not.
era.
I don't sufficiently old to remember that, but I have read enough history to know that that was a thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
It shaped a lot of politics for my generation, for sure.
exactly. And it's like, I think that sometimes when you work in an organization like People's Music Network, for example, not too distant from us, where there is like an actual generational divide in our society along all kinds of lines, that it doesn't mean that that kind of music is only of interest to old people. It just means that there's a historical moment in which people who are currently in 2025 old, when they were young, the historical moment was very different, and what shaped them was very different. And it doesn't make that music any less politically relevant to young people. It just means there's been a fissure, if you will, between the generations.
Yeah. So how do we heal that?
There you go.
That's our job.
That is our work. Thank you so much, Linda.
Sure.
Well, some of the people who signed up for today are not here, so I am going to skip over them unless anybody who is expecting to play, raise your hand, or you can also go after me if I missed you. But I'm going to do a song that was written by Phil Oakes, and it's called "Knock on the Door." And actually, I have to thank Storm for posting this to the list. "Knock on the Door" is a very powerful song, in my opinion, by Phil Oakes, a song about political repression. And we have been seeing some political repression. So I just want to thank Storm for putting that out on the list and reminding me about this song. I actually was singing at a rally for Palestine just less than 2 weeks ago. And they were also calling for the immediate release of Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia University student who was actually selected by Columbia University to be the lead negotiator between the campus encampment movement at Columbia and the administration. He's a Palestinian young man, and ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, just came and kidnapped him from where he lives, from his dorm room at Columbia University, and they sent him to Louisiana. This is with no due process. This is this is all just, this happened last month. So it's really outrageous, what has been happening. The escalation of attacks on immigrants, on Palestine solidarity activists, and just really stretching the whole concept. I shouldn't actually use that word. I should say really trampling the concept of due process and the rule of law. All these so-called, liberal concepts that are supposed to protect us from the repressive arm of the state when we have something to say about the world we're living in. But Phil Oakes captured this dynamic in that beautiful way of capturing different historical vignettes, and I have changed some of the words to speak a little bit about what's been happening recently with the repression by ICE. In many a time, in many a land, with many a gun, in many a hand, they came by the night, they came by the day, came with their guns to take us away, with a knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Back in the days of the Roman Empire, they died by the cross and they died by the fire. In the stone Colosseum, the crowd gave a roar. And it all began with that knock on the door, just a knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. The years went by and we reached modern times. The Nazis came with their Nazi war crimes. In the din of silence, where freedom had drowned, 11 million people heard the same sound of a knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Now there's many new words and many new names. The banners have changed, but the knock is the same. In the war on Palestine, as death numbers climb, our presidents salute the ongoing crime of the knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Resist the goons of the strange orange clown, from the dorms at Columbia to here in our town. And open your eyes and see what they do. When they knock for your neighbor, they're knocking for you with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, with their knock on the door, knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, one more. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Oh, Joanne Steele, I see you. You made it.
I just barely made it.
How's it going?
Well, it's going. I mean,
You made it here.
hospital stay and a rehab, hey,
Well, I saw your face,
and here I am,
but
liberated.
I didn't see you before I played. But our custom
okay.
here is to say a little something about the performer before you, which I guess would have been me. But then you're also on the list to do something as well, a short poem. Did you want to do a short poem tonight?
Oh yeah, real short. Also, the other day I'm standing at my kitchen sink and I'm going, oh, hey, what's that? Huh? Hey, my front tooth. Spelled
Ah, okay.
T-O-O-F. My front tooth
Yes,
gone.
it's a goner.
It's a
Well,
goner.
do you have your poem?
Yeah, but I didn't swallow it. So, and I have my tooth
The poem, not the tooth.
in case it's needed.
Okay.
Yeah. Years ago, there was a young man whose name I can't remember right now. A lot of things I can't remember right now. But in any case, if you know him or know of him, he hung out with a group down Maine called a Beehive. That may signal some memories in some folks. And then he headed out to the West Coast. And I just can't remember his name. I tried. I had his album here, and the FBI stole it. They're so nasty. They're so hateful. Anyway, so I can't look up his name even.
Well,
But it'll come to pass on, because the first two lines are his,
tell us.
from this fabulous young man. And a word, or some words of warning. This ain't no love song. This is a declaration of war. Cui bono? The Romans asked. Cui bono? And we should be asking the same question. Who benefits? Who benefits? Dig. You don't have to dig far. Analyze. Analyze. Find out. Then organize. 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 Then attack. So,
Thank you, Joanne. I think the songwriter you were thinking of is Ethan Miller. This ain't
that's right.
no
It
peace
is Ethan.
song.
Yes, it is Ethan.
This
You
is
know
a
him. How is he doing?
declaration of war, and this
Right.
ain't no sing-along. This
right.
is the rise of a mighty roar. He wrote that in 2001, like right after September 11th and the whole Bush
That's right.
administration.
And that's when I knew him.
War. He was talking about it was an anti-war song. Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Thank you so
Ethan Miller.
much,
I'm writing
Joanne.
that down. Thanks so much. I gotta look him up. If you have
Yes,
any
Ethan
further
Miller.
information,
He
I'd love to look
wrote
him
some
up.
great stuff. Thank you so much. Well, with that, I'm gonna, I believe, cut the live stream, and we can sit around here and chat a little bit. Thank you all for tuning.